Hi everybody, this is Tina with Rehatch Designs, and this is part 3 of doing our little golden book, and we've already completed quite a bit of it, but we're going to just do the finishing touches on it, and I'll just show you how I go ahead and complete the book. I'm not decorating it, but just kind of getting it to where it's ready to decorate. If you haven't seen part 1 and part 2, I'll put that in the description box, and that way I'll link it also so that you can see those other 2 parts on how we did this. I do my little golden books a little bit different. I go ahead and reinforce the spine here so that I don't have to cut the cover, and that it, you don't have to cut your pages or fold your pages. So I personally like it that way, and I also think in the long run it actually is easier, but that's just my preference. Everyone does it different. That's just my process. Anyway, this is how far we got. We went ahead and sewed in the signatures, and we added the buttons on, and we've got all our pages all in there, but I'm just going to show you how I kind of complete it so you can see what I do with it, okay? What I usually do on my golden books is I add lace to all of the pages. I keep my pages intact, and I don't cut them and I don't fold them, but I do add lace to the pages just to give it some interest. And also, your pages will possibly stick out a tiny bit, and that's why some people cut them. But I put lace on the cover and lace on the pages, and when you get done doing that, you won't be able to see any of that. So it actually does 2 things. It adds interest, and it also hides that, from, and I think actually, makes it easier to make the whole book to begin with, and then it makes it more decorative. Anyway, so this is what we have been using. And what I'm going to do at this point is we're going to add the lace. And for that, I just use my 3-in-1 or fabric tack and to do that. And it dries quickly. It adheres well. It stays well. That's kind of what I use. And I have, the way I'm going to do this is I have a bunch of different laces here in a bundle, okay? I just kind of pick different ones out, and I will put those on. I also have more down here too next to me, but we'll see. What I try and do when I do my laces is I try and vary them quite a bit so that I have different ones going through there, just different textures that add, interest to it. Let's see, I don't know if I have any other ones down here that I need to add. Oh, let's see, do I have any others? No, I think we're pretty good. I think I'm pretty good. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and do a little bit of lace trim here, and then I'm going to do a little bit here. And I think probably on this, since this is white, I'll probably use a white color, or maybe a pink here and then white there. I do have this other pink lace. Let me see if it looks okay there. Yeah, that might be kind of cute right there. So we could do that. And then maybe add some pink in other spots too. So I'll just take this, put a little right here down the middle. Get my scissors out. Oh, little strings hanging. Just kind of put that down the middle just to kind of give it a little interest. there. And I think I'll probably put white there. Let me go. So I'll probably put that right there. And the way I do it is I let it hang down a little bit, and you can see right here, so it hangs off a little. And see what that does is it also covers the fact that your pages are not all, in there even, or they might be sticking out a little, or let me see, I'm gonna see what this looks like. Maybe that might look good too. Don't know. I do not know. Let me see. I wonder if I could do, I wonder what would happen if I did that and the white. Yeah, I might do that. Let's see what happens. I usually decorate the front a little bit more than I do, the other pages and things, so I try not to hide the cover or the title too much. So sometimes you can't help it. This will cover it a little bit, but I do try and do that. So this is going to hang over here. I'll try and keep the title intact. And then I think what I'm going to do is, let's see how this looks on there too. Yeah, I think I like that. See if there's enough glue on there now so I don't have to put more. I think that might work. Okay, so that is going to be what my cover looks like, and I'm going to repeat that on the back so it looks the same on the back. So I hope everybody is having a good day and keeping their mind off of things and doing their very best to relax and enjoy. And I know it's kind of a hard thing to do, but I am definitely doing my best. I've been kind of cleaning up my craft room a little bit. I had a lot of different things that I needed to kind of sort through, and I did that, and I thought, well, I haven't done a video in a few days, so I thought I would get that done. I think it's going to need a little bit more glue. I didn't think I put in as much on this one. Anyway, I ventured out and got some groceries yesterday. Although I don't know if we really need them. It just seems like we have a lot of stuff that we normally don't usually keep that much food around, but I guess we're trying to make less visits to the grocery store. But I have been trying to do a little bit more cooking and not ordering and stuff like that. So been doing that. Like I said, just kind of sorting through things, going through things, and I really need to do like all my closets upstairs, but I don't know if I want to start. It's not as much fun as going through your craft room. So, okay, let's see what I'm going to do here now. So like I said, what I do is I'll go ahead and start, you know, put lace on all the pages. And it, like I said, it does two things. It allows you to, you know, it's kind of like a tab, and it allows you to find the pages, but it also, I think it winds up reinforcing the pages too. These are not so bad because these books are not that old, but I've had some very vintage ones and they get a little brittle, and by putting the lace on the ends too, is it kind of reinforces them a little bit. And then this dries pretty quick, so, but you still kind of have to be a little careful. And what I do is I try to vary the different laces in there so it looks a little different. And I don't know how much lace. I do want to put some more pink in there too, but I'm going to kind of do it probably maybe every third one because I don't have enough to do it every other one. And when I do the lace, I, you know, like, see, this is kind of covering some of the page, but you can still see through it. I try and make sure I don't, you know, cover any words. Because some, you know, a lot of people actually want the pages in the book to be able to read them. So, I do that. This is that one page that was very written in. It was the only page in the whole book like that, so it's kind of weird, but oh well. Let me put that on there. So I put different laces in there, and then I kind of do that, and then I, you know, I put the closure on it, and I make a tassel. And then I kind of leave it because I really think on a lot of these books, people, when I was doing up the Christmas ones, they kind of want them to where they can decorate them. And that's usually how I do them. So pretty much it's, you know, ready to go. Okay, so I think I'll put that here. The illustrations in this book are so pretty. I think I'm out of frame there. I'm trying to stay in frame for you, sorry. But it's just a process of gluing these on. Now, if you wanted to, before you put your book together, you could sew all these and not glue it. I tend to not do a lot of sewing in my little golden books. As much as I do other journals that I do. But you could definitely, you know, sew the lace on before you put the book together if you wanted to do it that way. Let me see if I can find one I haven't used yet. Anyway, basically, I just go through and I kind of, you know, alter my lace just to give it some character. Another page. Let me see one that I have not used. Have I not used this one? I don't remember. I think I did. Hold on. Oh, I skipped one. I got that. This one, okay. Let's see if I've got another one in here I need to use. Here's one right here that I haven't used. Put that on there. Oops, make that down. I usually glue it and then cut it because I have a tendency to cut it too short otherwise, so there we go. That one's on there. Got one right here. Let's see, we've gone to, can go pink now. Anyway, that's one of the last things I do is do the lace on the pages. And this is totally optional. You don't have to do that at all. Some people put tabs. Some people put material. I've done that too. I've done the material and whatever, but when I don't decorate them, I kind of like to keep it kind of simple so that the person that gets it can kind of do, you know, what they want to do. And I don't know, have I done that one yet? I think I did. Trying to remember what all different ones I used so far. Oh, I haven't done this one. Could do that. Yeah, yeah, I just try and vary the different laces so that it has, you know, different textures and just an interest to it. I mean, you could do them all the same. There's no reason, you know, that you have to do it this way. But that's just my thought process, is that it just gives it a little bit more interest to do them different. Okay, that one. Okay, this one. Don't know. We haven't done that. So I can do that one. All right. Okay, let's see what else we have that I have not used. Did I use that smaller one yet? Nope, I haven't. And that is 1, 2, 3. What's this last one here? Is that number 12 or 11? Okay, put that one. That one. I have not done this one. Okay. So I am trying to finish. I have 2 more little golden books that I had started. So I'm going to try and get those done. And then my next project, I think, is I want to make a spring journal. And also a garden journal, and I want to use my the binder garden books that I bought too. So I think I'm going to try and do those. What's this last one? Put that on here. Don't know which one I haven't done. Alright. And then I'm going to try and start that at least by Monday. So I'm probably just going to do kind of a craft along with me on those. So if you're interested in doing that, probably will start on Monday. Not making any promises, but that's my goal. Okay, let's put this last one on here. All right, so then that is all of our pages for our book that we're going to put lace on. And that's about the extent of the decorating that I usually do on the inside of the book, because like I said, I leave them largely undecorated. But as you can see, that adds a lot of really, interest to the book. And as far as the pages, sticking out a little bit, you can't even see that anymore. And it's added quite a bit of interest to the book, I think. That's kind of neat. Now what I do, the next thing that I do is I usually make a closure. And the way I'm going to do this is I'm going to have to, I've got that stuck to me. I had to decide if I want to do it white or if I want to do it pink. Or I was thinking, I've got this ribbon right here, and I thought that would be really pretty. So I think I'm going to use that if I had enough. I think I do. So I'm going to guesstimate it's going to be, probably a little bit shorter than that. Probably about right here. For one, get that off of there. Then I'm going to do another one. Okay, so I'm going to use those. And then, move this stuff out of the way. What I'm going to do is get my crocodile here, and I'm going to go ahead and punch some holes and put some eyelets in. Get some eyelets. I think I'm going to just use maybe a couple of, I'm going to use that later. So, let me see. I get two of those, kind of the same color. I think I'm going to use these two. I think that would look good. Okay. So what I do is So I'll go ahead and punch some holes. And I kind of eyeball the middle. So we're going to punch that right there. Then I'm going to make it even on the other side, which is going to be about right here. Okay. Then I'm going to go ahead and put these eyelets in. I still have glue stuck to my fingers, so they're not. There we go. Okay, that's in good. Let's put the other one in. Now, there are different types of closures you can do on here, but I tend to do this on my little golden books because I think it's an easy way to do it, and it seems to work pretty good, as you know, especially on the undecorated, because it gives you the option, you know, of expanding it later. And so you basically fold your ribbon in half, and then you're going to stick it through here, stick it through your hole that you just punched and put an eyelet in. Well, that doesn't work that good. Let me try this so it doesn't poke a hole through it. Okay. All right, come on. Okay. Ugh. Try that. Let me see if that'll work. Shouldn't be that hard. Okay. Oh, gosh. Try it again. Let's try one more time here. Should not be that hard to fit through there, but I don't know what's going on. Just being difficult today. Let me get that out of there. All right, anyway, so then you have a loop right here, and you take the other pieces right here, and you go through there, go through your loop, and pull it tight, and there's one end of your tie. And I like doing it that way just because when you get done, what's going to happen is you're going to have a really nice bow when you get done. Now you can do it to where you put this through and you do the opposite, where you put this through here. And I've done it both ways. I'm not sure that it makes that much difference in the end, but that's just too big, isn't it? See if I can get that through there, and then you can see what I'm talking about. Just come up with something that fits through there better. Okay, so you would put that through the bottom like that, then loop it and go like that. So it turns out pretty much the same way, but either way, you're going to have a little loop section right here. Anyway, I like doing it the other way, so that's just my preference. Put it back through there. I don't want to punch a hole through this ribbon. I put it through there so many times. There we go. All right. Okay. So anyway, there's one side. We're going to do the other side. might be a little bit too long, but we can cut it. Put that through there. Okay, so here are your ribbons, and then basically all you do at that point is, now you can put a knot there if you want to. I never seem to need to. It doesn't usually come undone. But go like that, and you're just going to tie a bow. Like I said, this one might be a little bit big, but that's okay. I like them kind of big because I like it to add, you know, decoration to it. And then, if you want to, at that point, you can make a tassel, which I will do quickly just to kind of show you how I do it. I do have some other ribbons here, and I do usually use lace too. So what I usually do is, let me put this aside so it's out of the way. Don't need any of that. So I'll go and I'll get ribbon, and I'll first cut one the size, I think it's double the length that you want your tassel and a little bit longer, okay? So that's probably about right there. And then what I'll do is I'll add laces, and I'm not going to do any charms on this. I'm going to just make it pretty simple. And there's a lot of yellow in my cover, so I probably want to put that in there. And just basically I'm going to cut some ribbons, and some turquoise, maybe I'll put that in there. And maybe I've got this Easter blue. That'll be kind of pretty. Let's see what other colors. Got this kind of sparkly yellow. That might be pretty. Definitely more pink. This beautiful pink right here. Put that in there. Maybe put some pink lace in there. Right, oops, it's all sticking to me. What other colors do we have here? Don't seem to have any purple in there, so I don't think I'm going to put purple. I've got that blue, this blue. Got this other blue. We could put that in there. And how about, I just really think we need more pink. Let's see what other pinks I have. I don't know if I do have any. Probably have other pinks somewhere. Let me look down here. Oh, I've got this pink. Okay. And we're going to use this in there also, but okay. And then I want to put maybe a little bit more of this. I've got green. Put some green in there. All right, now I'm going to put a little bit more of that. All right, and then I think I'm going to put more lace just to give it a little bit more texture. And maybe a smaller one. Okay, I think that will probably be enough. So then what I'm going to do is I take this and kind of get it all kind of even on one end. Get the bottoms kind of even. Because while you're working with it, they'll get kind of messed up a little bit. Make sure you put all these in there. Make sure they're all in there. Put that in there. All right. Then I kind of go in the middle, not counting the uneven ends, which I can cut some of those off right now. We'll trim it up a little bit more in a minute. But anyway, so you kind of get an idea of what you've got. And now I take my thinner ribbon like this, and I get a long piece that's usually longer than the whole thing. Get that out of the way so you can see. And I will take that, get a pencil or something. We're going to need that in just a second. Let's see. And, oh, that's going in the middle. Okay, this is the longer piece. So we're going to put that kind of crossways like that. Then I'm going to take kind of the middle of that, which is pretty much right there. And I'm going to take this, and I am just going to tie it right there. Okay. And I'll do it probably twice. Okay. Then what I'm going to do from there, here's when I lost track of what pieces I'm using. Okay, these are my two long pieces that I had. Take those and just leave those out for a minute. Take a pencil or something and just kind of loop this, have this go around it like that. Just kind of lay it down. And I take my two, see, I'm getting these mixed up with my other pieces. Let me check, because I have this one and this one. Okay, those are the ones I want out. Okay, so this is going to go like that, and it goes around here. And you're just going to kind of use that to find the middle there and keep it down. Oops. Get those where they need to be again. Okay, there we go. So now we've got those two, and we're bending that down. All we're making really is just the tassel part now. So we've got our two long pieces here that are attached. We're going to take one of them and go like that, and we're going to take one of the pieces and go around this to make our tassel. Okay, and then we're going to take the other one, which is this one, get it in the right spot, and we're going to use it to go the opposite way. See, this is where we ended up on that one, and then this one is going to go around a few times. Okay. Make sure this has gone around a few times. And maybe one more time here. Okay, so then what you do is nice and tight is you take it, and after you've gone around and you've got two opposite ends there, you can just take the pencil part out, and you're going to just tie a knot and tie this off. Okay. And I usually do it twice, maybe 3 times. And you can just use string if you want to. You don't have to do that. But I, a lot of times, just like to use a nice ribbon, and then it kind of blends in with it, and it becomes part of the tassel. So here's your actual tassel, and you'll take the ends. We'll see how they're uneven there. I mean, you can make them super straight if you want to. I make them semi-straight, really. So, like, I'll probably cut those off. And then what I do is I take a lot of these pieces that are square, and I'll go like that, and just kind of do that to all the ends. Just kind of do them at an angle. You don't have to do that. I don't always do it on the lace pieces, but I usually do it on the ribbon pieces, just because I think it looks better. But that's just my preference. No big deal. Y'all don't have to do that. And I go through and I do that. Do that. And they're not going to be perfectly even, and that's okay. But you want them a little bit, you know, closer to the same. And then what I do, so that's my total part there. I can tuck that under the middle if you don't want those little pieces sticking out. These don't bother me. They'll be in the back. Okay, so here is your actual tassel. And then what I do is I take this bulb pin, and the top part, remember that we looped around? I will put that through there without trying to get, you know, the part underneath it, just that one piece. Not stick it through there, just loop it through. Okay. Let me get in there. Here we go. And then what I do is I attach it to this clip, and you don't have to do it this way. You could actually just tie it right on if you wanted to. But I take that, after I do that, I don't like how it dangles from that part. So what I will do is I will take the pin portion of it like that, if you can see it, and I'll just put that underneath there, and then it hangs a little bit better that way. As you can see, okay? So then you can either put this on the back, because you usually have enough room to put it right there if you want it, or you can put it toward the front if you don't want it to hide your buttons. I usually on these put them right toward the front because I think it looks pretty that way, and I don't always want it to hide my buttons. But either way, this is what you've done, and that's how you kind of finished off your little golden book. And it's ready to decorate and ready to go. And you've got your nice bow closure that adds some decoration to it. You've got all your pages that are have the lace on it, and it didn't take much to do that, but you can see how it adds a lot of interest to it, and you know, it makes up for the pages not all being, you know, exactly the same. You never know if you look at it. I mean, plus it also, like I said, it gives you a tab to pretty much all your pages. So anyway, that is how I finish off my little golden book. And then of course, if you wanted to decorate your book and decorate all the pages and make pockets, you can certainly do that with the cut off pieces of your papers or any way you want to. But this is just pretty much the basics of how I do it, and how I get them ready to get to that point. Okay, so anyway, thank you guys for joining me, and if you haven't already, subscribe. I have a giveaway Friday, and on Fridays, what I do is anyone who's watched a video during the week and made a comment, I do a giveaway. I pull all of those out. Every time you make a comment on a video, and it can be an old video too that you've seen, and you make a comment, you're entered in. So if you watch 5 videos and make a comment, you know, on each video, then, you know, that's 5 times you're entered. And every week I start over with all the new comments, and you just have to be a subscriber. And I pull your name and you win, and I will pay shipping up to $10. And, you know, it's a lot of times it's journals. It's part of stash when I'm destashing, things I may have bought too many of. In any case, I'll keep doing it indefinitely because I do have a lot that I can share. So anyway, if you got some value out of this, please like and subscribe. Thank you very much.